friends. Welcome back to Candid Cloud Convos.
We are your hosts, Gina and Emelita.
And we hope you're having a great week. And if not, boom, bitch, we're here for you.
Boom, bitch.
We're here to make it a little better. And this one's for the ladies. This episode is for all the ladies. So if you're not a lady.
Oh my God, I like the way you said that. You sounded like on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that manifestation?
Maybe.
What do we have this week, Gina? The unnamed segment.
Okay, so we have it down as pre-game convo or pre-game topics. You know, we're playing with it a little bit.
Yeah.
We're experimenting.
Still have no suggestions, so that's the only one we have so far.
There's a video out there, I guess, that of an 84-year-old woman named Myrta Gage, and she's a pilot, or she was a pilot, but now she has Parkinson's. And her son, Earl, contacted some pilot named Cody Mattiello, and he took his mom, Myrta, on he let her drive? Pilot? He let her drive? He let her
fly?
Thank you.
He let her fly the plane.
I'm like, it's not. I was like, why does drive sound wrong? I'm like, drive? Pilot?
Here? Operate.
He let
her fly the plane, guys, and it was a beautiful moment. There's a video that touched many hearts.
Damn. Thank you, guys. He let her fly the plane, and people were crying, and it was a beautiful moment. And her son did it. The son did it for his mother. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. And it kind of is the only topic that we have this week because we wanted to honor women and the thriving 84-year-old woman. I also was the one in charge of finding the topics, and I have a very soft spot for old people, so that's probably why.
That is true.
It is very true. But it's a nice segue, you know?
Yeah, I like it. So you've probably seen by the title of this, we're talking about women and our fucking struggles.
For the females, this one's for you. And guys, if you're listening, either take notes of why you're wrong or just maybe appreciate the women in your life a little more after hearing all the shit we go through.
Period.
That's the first one.
Literally. Period. On the other hand, on the flip side, period.
I said, well, there's not much to say.
They're shit. They're actual shit.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? And you know what's crazy is too is that like every woman PMS differently.
Right.
And like, so as we all can experience it, and we all do experience it, but like some people experience it like way more intense, and some people don't experience it as bad. And like some people don't get much cramps or back aches or like boob aches.
Or the cravings, the mood swings. And you know what's weird is that like when you look up pregnancy symptoms, they're very
oh my God,
to what period
they're so similar.
And that's
so like how in the hell are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's ridiculous, actually.
It's like it's not it doesn't make you feel better when you try to look up the differences in the symptoms. So you're like, is this my period? Or
yeah,
is it my period coming? Or is it yeah.
Oh, do I freak out now or later? And then obviously with that, either way, like the hormones and how it's constantly changing, like how we brought up one time, we were talking about it, how each female has like 1 week of their like prime week where they feel good, they have all the energy, like your skin's back to normal after your period, like you're just having a great week, and then boom, the week before your period, and then boom, the week of your period, and then boom, the week after, where you have to regulate back up.
The like symptoms are kind of rolling in.
Yeah, it's like, why, man? Like it's so tiring. That in itself is like a full-time job.
No, for real. Because it's like your physical, your mental, your emotional, all at once.
Yeah, all in your mind. Plus everything else you're dealing with in your life as a human.
Yeah, just yeah. I don't know why I thought that was funny as a human.
As a human.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Erect, and I'm like, wow, to be a dog.
You know, I actually thought that. But you know what? I don't know. And maybe this is like just my overthinking. Because like I think of something and then I have like 20 million questions. Like I was thinking like some like dogs kind of have the life, you know?
Period.
But then at the same time, I'm like, would I be okay with understanding but not being able to like actually communicate with my person, you know?
I don't think you'd have a choice.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, would I go fucking crazy actually being a dog?
You can bark, you can growl, you can whine.
Yeah.
They'll but like ass probably, but
I know, yeah, like you're not actually, they don't know exactly what you're saying.
You're saying, yeah. But
you know, like I don't know if that tripped me out.
You when you're talking to the dogs, right? Doesn't drive you crazy that you can't communicate with them technically, right?
But I can communicate with other people.
You could communicate with other dogs if you're a dog.
Do they actually know what each other's saying?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty freaking sure.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a dog either, but
like, do different breeds speak different languages?
Oh my god, that would be so cool. That's interesting.
I don't know.
We should ask Yvette. I don't know.
Who?
Yvette, not Yvette.
Oh my god, I know who that.
Canarian. We were gonna go into birth control and how it's like so fucking pushy at the doctors.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, birth control already, like, you know how, I don't know, growing up, I always thought birth control was if you weren't taking it because you're having sex, you were taking it to regulate your period.
Right.
But then I know that there was birth controls. Yeah. But then I know that there's birth controls that did the opposite and like change.
The ones that don't have hormones in them usually make your periods heavier because the hormones aren't regulating
the same. Right. So it like,
so if you have a hormonal birth control, it's administering hormones every single day at a low dosage every single day. And that is actually something I didn't know until I got mine removed.
No, they didn't tell you that when they fucking...
I knew it was a hormonal birth control.
Yeah.
But I didn't know
it like came out every day.
It like literally administers every single day. Yeah, I had no idea like at all. It was never explained to me. And I struggled a lot with my mental health during that time. Like I did not feel like myself. It was like
completely fluctuated everything. Just
and it was really hard to like have control because, and it makes sense now knowing because it was administering every day. Like I had no fucking control over it. So
and to honestly, not know why that was happening.
When I got it removed and then I noticed my body actually getting back to like a normal, how it should normally be for me, I was like shocked. And that's like hindsight's 2020, you know what I mean? But it's like I would have never known.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had no freaking idea.
Yeah. And like even if you like you were saying, like at the doctors, if you go and you tell them like, oh, like
clinic.
Yeah, no, they'll be like, you should be on birth control, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. Like, I'm like, I thought at the doctors you're not supposed to judge, you're supposed to like, you know what I'm saying?
It does come off very judgmental from the doctors.
And for me, it's like, if I feel like it's being pushed, I'll like go back further. It does not, it just makes me like it annoys me, you know? Yeah, I'm like, let me make my own decision.
It makes it seem kind of stupid because they make it seem like, well, I hear what you're saying, but that's not the best choice for you. I don't know what your body feels like or how you feel in your body, so I'm trying to make the best choice for you. And like, I get it. They need to make sure, I'm sure they have to like let you know what your options are when you do go to the doctor. And if
and that's perfectly fine.
Then that's perfectly fine, like you said. But when it starts coming off as pushy or you can tell they're judging you, it's like, okay, hang on, like I didn't even come here for this. So can we get what I actually came to the doctor for?
Right, exactly.
It's annoying. And then also like just in the fact that women have birth control and they don't have a birth control for men, but women can only be like pregnant one at a time, right? and men can literally go out and get 100 girls pregnant if they wanted to
in one night if they wanted.
And they die. Like at 100 years old, they could still be getting somebody pregnant, but we go through menopause as women and we're not able to reproduce anymore. Why are we the ones having to then alter things in our body to make it to where we don't get pregnant during that time? Like, it's not fair.
No, and the whole menopause too is already such a fucked up like phase of life.
Right. Like, and that's also weird because it happens at different times for women too. Not weird, I shouldn't say weird, but it's just like crazy. Yeah, like the women's body is insane.
Even it's always like trips me out is it's like a beautiful thing, but it also is a fucking just, I don't know, like it blew my freaking mind.
Yeah.
Is that when you're pregnant and obviously like it's growing in the womb, all your organs are shifting.
Right.
And it's like, to me, that's so fucking crazy.
And making room for the baby.
Yes. And it's like, dude, like every organ is placed specifically in a certain spot for a reason. Like whatever it was, even made us this way. Right. So everything's like made a certain way for us to be who we are, and the fact that they can just shift and we're still alive. Like, what?
It's crazy. And then go back to where it's supposed to be afterwards.
Yes.
It's insane.
Like, actually, what the fuck?
Right.
Whenever I think about that, I'm just like, wow.
Crazy. And it heals itself.
It's mind-blowing.
Wild.
Right.
Wild.
Yeah.
I didn't look up like specific statistics behind like inequality in the workplace or in education. Like I know with colleges and stuff, like it's easier I've heard that it's easier for men to get into colleges, even if they don't meet like certain criteria. It's just favored toward men. And then obviously it's like, what do they say? Like a tale as old as time where women are not treated fairly in the workplace. Like they don't get paid the same. They don't get offered the same promotions, even if they have the same amount of education and qualifications and work experience, whatever. They don't get treated fairly or the same. And then that's why companies probably have to where like you're not allowed to share your income status and all of that shit with people because it gets messy. But it's also like, be fair.
No, for real.
Like treat that person as a person for what they have to offer, not like anything other than that.
I literally learned that at my first job. Like new people started coming in. I had been there a while, and then and we talked, and eventually it came up. We talked about it. For some reason, we just felt like whatever, like who the fuck cares, And so we told each other, and we found out that the people we were training were making more than us. Right?
That happened to
me.
And
we were like, what the fuck? And we did. We said, we need to get a raise because we're over here training these people. We do more than what they can do. And we're getting paid less. Like, no.
Responsible for more because you've been there longer.
Yeah. And the manager's excuse, who wasn't even the manager that hired us, but his excuse to not like moving us up because we were doing skills that we shouldn't even have been, not skills, but like we were doing things that we shouldn't even have been doing technically for what our position was.
Right.
But we were doing it all the time, but we weren't getting paid for that.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, well, we've already been doing this. Why don't you just bump us up?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, we can't do that and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's not my fault that you guys didn't negotiate when you got hired.
Do it for you. Every time you need me to help you do something that is not in my job requirements, I'm not doing it.
When we would show up, they used to be like, oh, you guys are here? Okay, cool. And would dip to the back, to the office.
To go chill.
Yep. Well, they left us out there to run the front besides with the cooks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, literally like first job ever. I already seen that was like a thing.
Yeah.
At like 15 years old.
Right. That's so stupid. But yeah, I noticed that too. And it's not fair, especially like you said, already starting out your first job, fucking teenage years, and you're already like, wow, all right. Like that's how it is here,
Yeah. It like starts right away.
Yeah. And also like just being in public in general, catcalling, harassment, like just not feeling safe as a woman. I had seen a tweet and this girl was like, what would you do if men no longer existed? And she said, go for a run at night. And I was like, wow.
Oh my God, I seen that. And there was like a whole thread of things that they would do.
Wow, that fucking set in, bro. Like, we can't do the smallest things without at least having a pit in our stomach fear, like something could happen.
Like having to, you always gotta check your surroundings. You're like constantly on the defense.
Like on 10 toes at all times.
Yeah.
Have weapons with you, have means of, whatever. And I think we're always taught as women, like, be careful, be careful. But what the fuck does that even mean? Like, you can't like necessarily prepare for something like that. If you've never been through something like that, you can do your best, but like in the moment, but you truly like, I feel like you can't really prepare for someone to do something to you like that, unless
especially if it's like out of nowhere.
Yeah. And like already the catcalling, like me personally, like I honestly can't even remember the first time it ever happened to me, but I know I was in elementary school for sure. Like it should never have been happening to kids that young. Yeah. Obviously having a certain body frame and being more developed at a younger age, I feel like made me more of like not a target, but I guess if that's the best way.
Receptive to it.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe it made me look more mature or more old, like more older than I was. And I wasn't. So I feel like it just happened a lot earlier than, I don't know how early it happens for most girls. I mean, it's sad that we even have to talk about it,
As an elementary school child, like that's disgusting.
You feel disgusting. Like after it happens, like you feel gross, like you did something wrong to make them, feel that way. And like also with older generations, they tell you, don't dress this way, don't wear these types of clothes, don't do this, don't do that. But it's, why does the woman have to like change so much about her to please a man or to repel a man from like doing something? It's crazy.
And it's like if you have to what is it with your fingers? Like if your arms are down at your sides, your shorts or your
dress, like your shorts have to pass where your finger, like the end of your tips on your sides. Yeah.
But like boys can wear shorts. And they were nothing fun, or like a white beater, but like a tank top. We couldn't wear spaghetti straps.
No, you can't have what was it? Like crop tops. You can't have yeah, like your bra strap showing, even if you were wearing a tank top, like it had to be, I remember it had to be like 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Like thick or whatever, because they didn't want your bra strap showing. And some girls would even get in trouble for like their collarbones or like their shoulders or whatever. And it's like, why are we sexualizing a collarbone and a shoulder?
That's what I'm saying. How is the collarbone distracting?
I don't know.
That sounds weird.
It's ridiculous. And I think the fact that like we have to cover up and this and that, but like guys can walk around shirtless and like you said, wear shorts. And in high school, I'm pretty sure the guys were wearing like Speedos in the fucking swim team, but girls have to be fully in like a full one piece like swimsuit.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, I don't get it.
And they never really like, it's never really explained why. That's just always what it's been.
Yeah.
And like even in tennis, I think wasn't that a problem in tennis, where they're saying that the women's uniforms are just not ideal for them to how they actually need to move.
Yeah, because they're wearing like skirts and shit, and it makes no sense to me. I feel like they should just be wearing like a sports bra and like shorts, or like a shirt and shorts or something. That would make the most sense to me.
Yeah, I don't play tennis, but
because having the extra material, how do you like move from side to side or run to go get the ball? Like that's so much extra material,
and also kind of like
you down.
But
it's look cute.
Yeah, I think like wasn't that like exactly why? It's like exactly why they made it that way.
Fucking annoying.
And then like don't
the
women athletes that are like pretty much like the best athletes in their sport, and they don't get as much recognition for all the men athletes out there, they get, praised. And it takes a lot more work. Like they eventually do, it just takes a lot more work.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, like going back to the catcalling, no one's saying that you can't be like, say, make a compliment or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's just a way to go about it. Like you can give someone a compliment and it be like genuine and not creepy. Respectful. Exactly, respectful. And so it's not even about like that you said something, it's just the way it's said. You know?
And that's the difference between catcalling and complimenting someone.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be considered catcalling, you know, but being like from across the street whistling at some girls on the street, like walking home from school with their backpacks on is.
Yeah, so like when we say men ain't shit, it's those men.
Right.
Like if I feel like if you're a man that doesn't do that, right, and you know that you know that like
offended.
You shouldn't be offended because you know that's not you. Like, and you know that and it's just a fact that other men do that.
Resonate with
you know, or a lot of men
don't
do
let
that.
It sit with you. Like, take what do you say? Like, the card readers, the tarot card readers. They're like, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Like you said, when we say men are trash or men ain't shit, it's those creepy dudes that make you feel disgusting when they're like trying to holler at you from across the street or from the street, like from a car as they're looking, like in our video when those guys like pulled up on us in the picnic, like they didn't say anything, but it's still harassment when you're fucking hanging out a window staring directly at us, like
driving at like 0.5 miles per hour.
That shit was so creepy. And then to come back, as if you weren't scared enough the first time it happened, you come back for fucking what?
I got really fucking annoyed.
Yeah, we didn't even continue our picnic. We're like, let's just go home.
Yeah, we
like,
left.
This is done.
Because then we're on like edge. We're like, all right, let's just fucking go.
Like, we can't even do this. We didn't even eat. We had to eat at home.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. We packed up everything.
Pictures and then finished the video, and that was it.
Because it was in the middle of us doing the pictures, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just pointing this out there, not that it matters, but we weren't dressed like skimpy or any type of way. Like there was no reason, quote unquote, that it should have happened. We were minding our own business, doing our own thing.
We separated ourselves
on purpose.
Like, from not like hella far out. Like we were in an open space still, but like we had separated ourselves.
Right. We were really minding our own business.
Yeah, obviously we don't want to be approached because we we walked past each other and we decided to go all the way the fuck over there. that should tell you we don't want nothing to do with you.
And to even have to make it be known, like I seen you, like when we're walking somewhere, like making eye contact with someone or seeing a license plate when you go by or seeing what they look like, just to make sure, like we're always on edge. It's exhausting. You like can never feel safe, even just going to Target or I don't know, walking around the mall. Like you just can't.
And it's just like second nature.
Yeah. Or you just don't do it because you just know you can't. Or I guess you could, but you're going to have to go through however much you're going to have to go through. And then you're not really shopping and having a good time or doing whatever you're doing because you're focused on everything else.
Yeah. And we both put up
I said for me, I just may as well not go.
I was gonna say we both put up question boxes on our stories. Yeah, and like other women also commented about the whole being catcalled, like being out. She said safety in these streets for men. So like
that's the perfect way to put it though.
Yeah, and like it's not just us.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't just happen to us. And how like guys will say like, oh well, girls wear makeup to like please a man or for a man to make themselves look more attractive to a man, or they wear certain clothes or they dress a certain way to like get men's attention. And it's like, what? Like y'all
I just want to feel good when I look in the mirror.
Like I would love to have the ego and confidence of a man sometimes. Like my God, y'all are so up your asses.
Where it's all about them.
And it's really not. It's really not.
Like I just want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, I look good.
But you can't even do that because then you're seen as conceited.
That's a whole last another thing.
Yeah, that's a whole last other episode. Let us know if you want us to talk about that too. Because we do live in a society where like if you have a talent or you're complimenting yourself about something, like it's seen as cocky, or there's like a very fine line, but everyone's fine line looks different. There's no universal term, I guess. Right. And it's also like self-love and love yourself and da-da-da. And it's like, okay, but when I try to, you all look at me like I'm full of myself, you know?
Yeah. Like there was
I can't be proud.
Is it like a model show? I don't know. Like where this girl was like, she said something like, damn, I look good, or something like that. Huh?
So you want to be on top.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it was America's Next Top Model though, but we watched every season of that, or every season that they have on Hulu. Binge watched.
Thrived.
In the
best weeks of my life.
Wouldn't I be like, I'd be playing with your hair, like braiding your hair or something?
We would literally just binge all day.
And then and then it was East Los.
Oh my God.
Love that show. Oh, okay. So another thing that we had on, what we wanted to bring up, but we also got a response saying the same thing, which was pretty much about body image issues.
Yeah. The most popular response we got on both our boxes on our question boxes on Instagram was about body image issues, like weight, and just body frame in general. And like, I guess maintaining it to fit a attractive preference, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were just talking about it earlier, how like through different times, it's like different trending images. Right. Like what's popular at that time looks different.
Even
in like certain years. Like before it was like more skinny. Now it's like and having curvy and like hourglass figure.
Yeah. And then a lot of now, I support whatever makes you happy. If that's plastic surgery, if that's working out, like whatever makes you happy, do what you have to do,
And you're healthy.
As long as you're in a healthy way, and that you're happy with the decision that you make regardless, But with that being said, a lot of like social media influencers and whatnot, they've had, things altered to them to where now I feel like the standard for a woman is like what they look like, which is not natural body, So it's like, it's also hard being around the same age as those women, because you feel like kind of like comparing yourself to what that standard of beautiful looks like. But it's also like, it's hard because you don't want to do that, because you're unique and your body was given to you the way that it was given to you for a reason, But it's also hard because you feel like you have to measure up to that.
Right. It's like I have to match this certain look to be considered desirable or like attractive.
Exactly, attractive. And it's like, obviously we both have boyfriends, so we're not talking specifically about us.
Right.
We're just
but just in general.
Like we're not saying it to be like, oh, we want to look attractive to other men or whatever, But
just randomly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we're not saying that about ourselves, but just in general, like having to fit that certain image of what's beautiful, because then you just doubt yourself and how you look, because you don't look the same. Or even trends with clothes.
Yeah.
Like, damn well your body will not look the same as someone else in that specific outfit, whether or not you want to try it or not, that's up to you. And like really own it. I feel like confidence is going to sell it regardless if you are happy with it or not. If you're confident in it, it's going to sell it. But it's also like you have to know kind of what fits your body frame. And that's a whole other thing. Like figuring out what looks good on your body and going through that transition period. And as your body grows and changes, it's fucking exhausting, man.
And it's constantly changing. So it's like once you kind of get the hang of it, it's like switch, pivot.
Right. Pivot. It's annoying.
Yeah. And like only speaking from what I know in my experience in like a Latino like family, it's more normal for the woman to do the cooking, do the cleaning, you know, you serve the man. But like, and so it's in my family, but my parents like they did both. Like my dad cooks too, he cleaned too. So that was like I was able to see the difference, you know. But like my grandparents, like I call my grandma my Nena. She's in that kitchen literally like probably 18 hours out the day. Like you're gonna find her, she's in the kitchen.
If she's not sleeping, she's in the kitchen.
And she's constantly like, if you leave a napkin or a cup somewhere, she's already picked it up. By the time you went to go back for it, it's gone. Like she's so used, and the crazy part is that she doesn't even like to cook. Like she does.
I was just going to ask you, does she enjoy it? No,
she doesn't enjoy cooking, and she does it because that was made her role. You know, so she did it to, you know, feed her husband and then her family.
You know? Right. That's what she was raised on, so she was used to it. So she took over that role.
But she does not like to cook. She's a bomb-ass cook, but she just doesn't like to.
Yeah. In the household that I grew up in, I was mostly with my grandparents. So it was very, very old school. The women did everything. Like I, as a 10-year-old, was washing the boys' underwear in the laundry, like folding them, putting them away in their drawers, like the whole everything, cleaning freaking pee off the side of the toilet, like everything. We were the ones doing the dishes. At that time, we weren't really cooking, you know, as younger kids, but we would help in the kitchen. Like if we're making the meat and the sides and shit, like us girls would be in there cutting the stuff for the salads. Like we had to help, even if we had homework, even if we were sick, even if we were whatever. But the boys, they were doing their own thing. They were playing video games. They were not doing their fucking homework, I'll tell you that. And just fucking around, and it was expected for us to know, you're gonna get up and you're gonna go help, or you're gonna go do the dishes and blah blah blah, all the time, every single day. And so just growing up like that, I fucking hated it, because I was like, why don't the boys why do I have to sit here and stress myself out to get all this shit done when they're not even gonna go try and do their homework?
You already seen the difference, like exactly. Especially as a child, like, and what I don't get is like, which I feel like our generation now knows it and like feels it, but
I feel like we don't really take shit from nobody.
We acknowledge it, but like before it was like, you know, the women learn how to cook for the most part, like usually it was the women or the girls, whatever. But is cooking and cleaning not a fucking basic life skill? Like everybody, everybody should know how to do that. It shouldn't just be like, and I feel like that's why some men end up looking for a woman that would just completely serve them and be like, I'll do everything for them, because they were used to that growing up from their moms. So and they don't know, they literally don't know how to do. Yeah, some women do. And if you enjoy doing that and you found somebody that needs you to do that, so happy for you.
Right.
I don't want it to, me personally, and I know you personally too. Don't, like, if you expect it of me and you're not doing nothing in return, like you don't also, then that's not, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. But because like at that point, I don't want to do that for you.
Exactly. When it's like a team, it's like a team thing. Yeah. You want to do that for each other, just for yourselves or for the house, like for dinner, like, damn, this sounds good, I'm gonna do this. Or like, damn, he said he's gonna make this, cool, like that sounds bomb, whatever. Yeah. But when like you making a date out of it, like making a date out of, like, we're gonna cook dinner tonight together and make a whole thing of it and then clean up together. Like the stigma around being like quote unquote feminist is like, oh, that means like you hate men, like you just hate like every single man, any man on the planet, you hate them.
Right.
And it's like
it's black.
Maybe there are, yeah, exactly. Like maybe there are some feminists out there that do feel that way, but I feel like that's not what it's really about. Yeah. Like I feel like it's just about women and empowering women, not that fuck men, but it is the ones that make you feel creeped out, or the ones that are like harassing people, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just that I think that part's that simple. It's not all men, it's the men that do that, and it just happens to be a majority of men. You know what I'm saying? That's not our fault. It's just the statistic. So we can acknowledge a good man, you know?
Yeah, like you shouldn't be offended by someone saying that because you know you have friends who act like that.
Mm-hmm.
Family members who act like that, and you've seen it and you cannot deny it. Like you cannot deny it. You've seen it in movies and videos, out in the street, at the mall, wherever. Like you cannot sit here in 2020, almost 2022, and tell me as a man you've never witnessed something like that happen.
Right.
You yourself probably thought that dude ain't shit. Like you can't tell me that.
Because like and from own experience of like myself, people around me,
Yeah.
and also I've seen it in a video where it was some kind of what are they called? Not like conferences, but you know, in like those big college classes, like a lecture. Thank you. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
A lecture. It was one of a lecture of a woman asking this whole room of women, raise your hand if you've ever been sexually assaulted or molested in any kind of way, right? Damn near the whole room raised their hand or stand up or something like that, and damn near the whole room stood up, right? So if a whole room can be that filled up with women who have experienced it, there can't be like if you did the opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like if you've
The opposite, like if you've ever done this, or if you know someone that's
a group full of guys. Yeah, exactly. Like a group full of guys, you like raise your hand or stand up if you've ever witnessed a guy being creepy, catcalling, harassing, whatever the fuck that looks like. Or you have a sister who's it's happened to, or a cousin, a mom, whatever. Like you cannot tell me that you've never thought in your head, wow, that guy ain't shit.
Right.
As witnessing that, you know? So I feel like guys even putting that thing, like telling us like, oh, you're a feminist and and making fun of us for like
and saying it in like a negative
like,
way.
You're part of the problem.
Like it doesn't have to be a negative thing
No.
just to want to empower women.
The feminist movement, like women are not treated fairly, equally, blah blah blah. That's a proven thing. Like you can look it up. So that's why women and men that are part of supporting women try and, you know, make it known and spread awareness and make sure that things don't revert back to how they were years and years ago, which really wasn't even that long ago if you think about it, you know?
Right.
I don't think it should be seen as, like you said, a negative thing or a bad thing to like stand up for yourself and what you believe in when clearly not being treated fairly in supposedly a country that you're supposed to have freedom and equality and all of this shit. It's bull.
It really is.
It's bullshit.
Because it's still an ongoing, it's like nothing, there's not much that's been fixed or resolved, you know?
It sucks because
and in different cultures it's different for, you know, those things.
And I guess we can only really talk about, like you said, our experiences. And also we live in America, so we don't really know what it's like in other countries, but I feel like it's even worse for women in other countries because in certain countries they're not even allowed to go out without an escort of a man. Like that's fucking wild.
And they get either like beaten or killed if they're found outside.
They can't have
like anywhere without a man.
Driver's licenses. They can't go to school. They can't have a job. Like,
and it's literally just by the whatever chance or whatever it was of where we were born.
Literally,
you know, like that's the only difference between us and those people is where we ended up being born at.
Can't even help.
You know, exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
That's literally the only difference.
It's wild. But that's still the difference between the equality. It's just by chance we're born a woman.
Yeah.
And then also, if you think about like certain cultures where they will literally put up female babies for adoption because their family only wants to like have that name be
carried
on down. So they will literally put female babies up for adoption and then continue trying to get pregnant until they have a boy.
No, are you serious?
And it's fucking so sad because it's like women have so much, like as much as it sucks to be a woman, there's so much like hope
Yeah.
and strength in being a woman. You know, like I think when you find a spot where you do feel confident and comfortable within yourself and who you are, what you know and everything like that, I feel like, I don't know, there just comes a time where you really value being a woman. Although we go through so much, it's
you
like
embrace it and you just
like you embrace it, and it's like you gotta be a part of, like, I don't know, like I don't know, it's so weird, like a sisterhood of women who know the same things as you and feel the same way as you, and you don't have to feel like this only happens to you or like you're alone. Like any woman can relate to at least one thing we said today.
Like you can just say one thing and they're like, yep, I like, almost like you don't even have to continue because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. But there's just something about being a woman, you know?
Yeah. And I was, how I was telling you, like, I was trying to put, like, think of strengths, to being a woman. Like, we just went through.
I was joking with you. I was like, I don't got none,
dude,
so
like,
don't ask.
Like, we've been, we're going through our struggles because there's many. But, like, so we were like, okay, so let's try thinking of, like, some strengths, like.
Let's end on a positive note. You know us on Cloud Nena, we have to have the positivity.
Right. And, like, it was a little harder, I'm not gonna lie. And so I tried looking some up because I could only come up with like a few.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me try to see if like anything else can help me like get inspiration.
Right.
And most of them were just kind of like, I just felt were very vague, like super basic, and like characteristics that anybody can have, but they're just known to be for a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like nurturing, or like they're resilient, they can persevere, and but it's like because we have to, because there's no other choice.
We have to, because who's gonna do it for us?
Right. So like I was like, well, those are like
not a characteristic.
Don't
an obstacle.
I'm like, it's just kind of a result.
Yeah, it's an obstacle, or not an obstacle, but
like anybody can be those things, not just women. So I'm like, those aren't specific, but like growing life in our bodies. It's a beautiful thing. Like we said, our organs shift. That's insane. Still blows my mind.
And I think it's crazy too how like when you are breastfeeding, if your baby's sick, your breast milk literally changes to medicine for that specific symptom that they're having, whether it be runny nose or sneezing, whatever the hell. It's crazy. And you can literally see that the color is different in your milk. And like you can save that milk for when they are having those same symptoms. If you freeze it, like that's fucking crazy.
Dude, it's so insane. Like you don't even have to do anything. Your body just knows what to do. It literally just knows what to do on its own. And then even like when when they're like, don't like they can't hear anybody cry or like a baby cry because they'll just start lactating. Yeah, and they're like they can't hear. It's just like it happens. They can't control it.
It happens. Your body's
naturally produces it.
Yeah.
So like that's even insane too. It's just like your body just knows what to do.
That bond with the baby, like the entire time you grow the baby, and like you're protecting it and everything like that. Like you have that bond already before the baby's even here in the world. Because
you've had that, like you grew the baby in your belly. It feels, the first thing it hears is your heartbeat. Like your children like are the only ones. Yeah, they're the only ones who've ever heard your heartbeat from the inside.
That's crazy.
Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, like I feel like you're just always.
So I guess it's kind of cool.
It's kind of whatever.
Or whatever. We bad bitches or whatever.
And they say, Mother Nature.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Human being. No.
I'm dead.
My dad also told me that in shooting, like at the shooting range and stuff, that women are more accurate than men. So that's a plus.
You fucking killed me.
So that's a plus.
He's like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to point it out.
I would want to find out. I've never been to a shooting range.
Dude, it really helps with like anger. It really does.
I could only imagine, dude.
So thank you so much for coming to our TED Talk, complaining about being a woman, and then also sprinkled in like 2 or 3 reasons why it's nice to sometimes be a woman.
Like, I hope that like when you're listening to this, they're like, dude, they're like, yes, like that fucking happens to me.
Yeah, that's hella relatable.
Like, yeah, that you could relate to some of what we're talking about.
You're not alone.
But we're here for each other. So
Nena,
we got it.
We're here for y'all. We got you.
We got it.
Baby. It's tough out here, baby, but we gotta have each other's back. And that's why I'll never understand why women, especially girls, like back in like elementary school and like junior high, they thought it was the shit to be like a mean girl. And like we already go through enough as women. We do not need to be tearing each other down. It's fucking ridiculous. And I don't know who the fuck thought it was a cute thing to be like a mean girl and be like rude to people and just in general. But that makes you fucking ugly. And I don't like that attitude. That energy is nothing that I need near me. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks so much.
I really like the way you said that. You said it's fucking ugly. And I agree. I definitely agree. I think even as a kid, I didn't like that. Like,
no, never even thought to be like, I want to be friends with them. Like in the movies, how you see like, oh, they want to be with the popular girls who are usually the mean girls.
It literally happened to me in elementary school. In elementary school, this little girl, she was new, right? She was fucking new, which is even worse.
You're a replacement. Sit down.
Right. But like everyone was so like, oh my God, where are you from? Oh my God. So everyone was like, ooh, flocking to her, right? And I think I've told you this story before, so you might recognize it. I was wearing a Rugrats sweater. Okay. Rugrats, I think okay, maybe I didn't. I was wearing a Rugrats sweater and I fucking love this sweater. Okay. I love the Rugrats. So it was my shit. I was happy to wear it to school. Right. And she was new and I had my best friend at the time, right? And she goes,
right.
and we're walking and she goes like, oh, do you want to be in our group or whatever? But like as we're walking by, she goes and she looks at me and she goes, you can't be in our group because we don't wear those sweaters, because it had a cartoon on it. And I was like, it's we're in the fucking first grade. You don't wear a cartoon on your shirt. You don't have not one shirt that has a cartoon on it. I'm sure.
Right. You don't go home and watch SpongeBob with your ugly ass.
I doubt attitude. I fucking doubt it. So I was like, I don't want to be in your group anyways. Like and I just walked off by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I was upset. I'll tell you that much.
You walked away throwing up middle fingers, cussing her out, huh?
I was wilding out. They had to hold me back.
Right. Then you went to go play tetherball and you beat that bitch ass.
Oh my God, I love tetherball. I love tetherball. Oh my God. But yeah, and I was like, I don't want to be in your group anyways. And I walked off and I said,
proud for you.
In first grade, my version of fuck you. And I forgot about her because I was like, I don't like you now. Huh?
Probably cried. And we're like, what? Oh my God. And then just went on and cried.
I was like, I don't want to be your friend now anyways. Feels like you're fucking mean.
This is probably why I gravitate toward you, because you have a backbone and like you'll
Shut
stand
the hell up. You do too.
I got one. I did back then. I'm very I have people pleasing tendencies. Okay, it's always been that way.
But there was also another little girl. The only other little Latina girl in the school, deadass, like the only other one.
Mm-hmm.
She was bullying me because I guess she must have been intimidated that I was another Latina in the fucking school. I don't know.
Her thunder?
Huh?
She thought you were stealing her thunder?
I guess so. I wasn't even trying. So you must feel
it was the better anyway.
You must feel very intimidated. I'm not even trying.
Right.
Whatever. No, I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, I was like, dude, it starts so young.
It does. Like,
it's
the
just
jealousy and like the hate.
The like clicks.
Ugly. Yeah, it's ugly.
It's insane.
Why can't we just all be friends? You know, why
can't we be friends?
Exactly. It's honestly so stupid, especially when you think back on it. being an adult and knowing like at this point now how much we've gone through, like during childhood and then puberty and now as an adult, like you're just like, what the fuck were you guys thinking, being so shitty to people?
Yeah, like I'm sure I've done shit that like was not the nicest, you know, like everybody's done that, but it's different when it's like a consistent thing you do.
Yeah, you were targeting someone to straight up be a bully besides your cousin.
But I admit that I was a bitch to him.
Right.
I'll admit it because it was fucked up.
You guys are cool now, so that's
I've
really
learned and I've grown. Yeah. That's all I can do.
That's all I want to do.
Good thing he didn't cancel me. I'm so glad he didn't cancel me.
Right. You still have a voice.
It was before cancel culture.
Oh God. I mean, people make mistakes, but I also feel like your apology has to be just as big as
just as loud.
Fuck up.
Has to be just as loud as what the mistake was.
That's what I mean. I couldn't think of the word. All right, Gina, do you want to hit him with the quote of the week?
All right. So we both thought that since, you know, talking about our struggles, but we decided to end it on a lighter note. So we'd make our affirmation. Well, it's more of a quote, but it's not more of a quote. It's a quote. Make it an uplifting one too, because, you know, go us.
Go us. Mercury is no longer in retrograde. Let's just have a moment for that.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank God, because it was a bitch.
It really was.
And did you know it was not just Mercury that was in retrograde? I'm so sorry to stop you. There were multiple planets. I think there was like 6 or 8 planets that were in fucking retrograde, bro.
No wonder I was losing my shit.
No wonder why my life was in shambles.
Yeah. Yeah, that explains a lot. And now on to an uplifting quote.
In lighter news.
Okay, so this quote is by Maya Angelou. I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me.
Here, that's Period. Me. That's us.
That's you.
That's you.
That's you right there.
That's you. If you're listening right now, and you're a woman,
you. Phenomenally.
That's you.
Phenomenally.
A woman. Period. And with that, have a phenomenal week. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Men still ain't shit. Ain't shit changed. And come back next week. We'll shoot the shit.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.